Well, first of all, I'd like to recognize the 8 exhibitors, the 4 pairs that are out here for bringing their cow calves. It's a ton of work, and there's no question that you put a lot of effort and labor into getting the calves broke. The cows can be temperamental, so anybody that shows cow-calf pairs, I have a ton of respect for. They're always interesting to judge because of the differences. You can have the best cow in the world, but in my opinion, if she's not got a great calf in her, it's hard to utilize that as a pair combination for any championship. I think the pair that initiate this class are really quite good in my opinion. I think one thing that really sets this cow apart is her udder quality. I think compared to the other females, she's easily the most acceptable from an udder quality standpoint. She's really level in the design of her udder. She's short, she's small in the diameter to her teats. And then to go along with that, she's a big body, deep, really stout, constructed female. I wouldn't want to make her any bigger than what she is, but I think for me personally, she would be acceptable. She gets a little bit coarser through her front end. She can be a little bit more mobile in terms of flexibility to her joints, but I think she's done a tremendous job in producing a high-quality heifer calf behind her. The heifer calf's really long-bodied, a level design, has a neat look to her in terms of the way that she attaches her neck high to the top of her shoulder. I think just a very high-quality pair to initiate this particular class. Now, if you prefer moderation of frame, I think the female that comes in second place is going to suit you more correctly. She's more conservative in her mature size. She's very, very refined and elegant through her front third. I think this second place cow is long. She's really smooth fronted. She's square out of her hip. She's maybe not quite as powerful, but I do think she's a little bit sounder structured than the cow that wins the class. I'd modify the udder quality on this second place cow by just making that front teat a little bit shorter and a little bit tighter and smaller in diameter. I do really love this small heifer calf that comes out in the second pair. I think she's got a phenomenal future ahead of her. Even at that young age, you can see that she's got a lot of presence, a lot of quality about her levelness and her design, and she's got a lot of muscle shape already developing at this stage. The pair that come in next, third, the cow I think is intermediate in frame size and weight compared to these other two females that precede her in class. I prefer her from her hooks forward likely. I think she's made really correctly. Her front skeleton, just from meat, from her hooks back, she gets a little bit low at her tail head. She tends to be a little bit lower in her pin placement and turns her hock in from behind compared to the female that wins the class particularly. I'd also like to modify her udder just a little bit, make her leveler and have a little bit more space between her teats. The bull calf that she's brought out performs really well. He's stout boned, he's big footed. I just like to modify him from a balance standpoint, make him leveler down his top, a little bit square out of his hip, and perhaps to flatten him and smooth him out at the point of his shoulder. A really big, high-performing cow that comes in next, she's tremendously deep-bodied and bold in the construction of a rib. I think she's, again, one that's plenty acceptable up front in terms of structure. She toes ahead straight. She's really refined about her head and her skull. Again, like the third place female though, she tends to be just a little bit shorter and rounder out of her hip as I see her today. And then udder quality I think definitely needs to be modified on this female. If I could make her leveler in terms of her fore udder attachment compared to her rear udder, I think that's the biggest change I'd make. And also maybe make her a little bit more conservative in her teat size. Again, she's got a beautiful calf out behind her as well. And it's only going to get better with age, but has the fundamentals of soundness of structure already at this stage in his development. And he's only going to get better based on the phenotype that he exhibits today. So congratulations. Thank you very much for bringing out 4 excellent groups of females and their calves.